What's poppin', guys? You got your boy Fear Phantoms here bringing you a Pokemon Showdown match. This is going to be an OU battle against a random guy from the Pokemon Showdown ladder. So let's get started with this battle. Alright, so in this battle, he's going to start off with Jirochi. I'm going to start off with my Infernape. I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz. He probably over-predicted and went for Stealth Rocks, but he's going to go into his Politoed, and I'm going to go into my Latios, taking the predicted Scald. So I'm actually going to switch out right here. I'm going to go for the T-Bolt, and then I'm going to switch out and go into my Tyranitar right here, just to get up my Sand and get up the Stealth Rocks. So he's going to go into his Ferrothorn, and then he's going to switch out and go back into his Politoed as I just go for my Stealth Rocks. So basically right here, looking at his team, Tyranitar's not going to be too useful, since the only moves I really have on this Tyranitar are Crunch, Pursuit, and Stone Edge. So Tyranitar's not going to be the most useful thing on this match. So I'm basically just gonna let him win the Weather War, and I'm just gonna keep going for Crunch, and he's gonna go for the Scald here, but I'm gonna be able to take that fairly well since I am max HP, max special defense with this Tyranitar. So he's gonna go for a Toxic right here, predicting me to switch out, but I don't. So I'm just gonna keep going for Pursuit just in case if he wants to switch out. So I'm gonna go for another Pursuit right here as he goes for another Toxic. And I thought Pursuit would take him out at that range, but I guess it doesn't. But if he does switch in from Stealth Rocks, I think he might die. I'm not too sure. But otherwise, I'm just going to go into my Terrakion and finish it up with an Earthquake. He's going to go into his Tornadus T. I'm going to switch out and go into my Dragonite to take the Hurricane. So he is going to switch out right here. He probably could have took me out with another Hurricane. I'm not too sure. But I'm just going to go for a Ice Punch, I believe, right here. So let's see what I do, and I'm pretty sure I go for the Ice Punch as he goes for the Rapid Spin. No, I actually switch out and go into my Latios as he goes for the Rapid Spin, and then I believe I go for the Psyshock as he goes for the Protect. So yeah, basically right here he's just trying to scout me out. So he's gonna switch out. He's gonna go into his Ferrothorn. I'm just gonna go for the Psyshock, not trying to over predict or anything. I am Choice Scarf on this Latios, so I'm gonna have to switch out as I go into my Infernape. I'm gonna switch out for my Infernape and go into my Dragonite once more as he goes for the Hurricane. And that Hurricane did a ton of damage. He could have took me out with another Hurricane if he wanted to, but he does switch out right here, which I find pretty odd as I just go for an Ice Punch. I do get the Freeze Hacks on this Ferrothorn, which is pretty unfortunate for him, but it'll help me out in the long run. So I believe I go for the Roost right here as he goes into his Mamoswine. He's probably going to go for the Ice Shard, which is fairly obvious. So I'm going to switch out and go into my Terrakion to take that Ice Shard. Didn't take it as well as I wanted it to, but whatever. It is Mamoswine. It is pretty beast, I would say. So I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, predicting him to want to switch out into his Tornadus. But he goes into his Tentacruel, so I'm going to have to switch out, go into my Latios just to take the Scald, because I'd rather Latios get burned than my Terrakion, because it's going to be the more useful thing on my team to take on his team. So he's going to go for the Protect. I predict that, and I go into my Gengar. I'm going to go for the Substitute, predicting him to want to switch out into his like Tornadus or even his Ferrothorn or something. But he just goes for the Scald and takes out my Sub. But I actually predicted him to want to switch out right here, and he probably thought I was going to go for the Shadow Ball, but I don't. And I get up a free Substitute. So as he goes into his Tornadus, I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball right here as he breaks my Sub with a Hurricane. So the Shadow Ball does do a heck of damage to him, so I'm going to actually have to switch out right here. I'm going to go into my Dragonite, basically kind of as Death Fodder, because it's not going to be too useful, and he's going to take me out with a second Hurricane. So now I'm going to go into my Terrakion, I believe it is, and I'm going to go for the Earthquake, predicting him to switch out into his Tentacruel. So that was a great prediction on my part. So yeah, I took a big risk right there. He could have took me out with a Hurricane. So yeah, I'm gonna switch out. No, I'm gonna go for another Earthquake, just thinking that he would want to stay in. But I'm gonna go into my Latios, let this thing go out as Death Fodder. So then I'm gonna switch out, go into my Terrakion, and go for the Stone Edge. Luckily I hit, and I also get a crit just to ensure that I would take him out. But I'm pretty sure I would have took him out with the Stone Edge no matter what, since I am max attack. But I'm gonna go into my Infernape to take the Icicle Spear, as I'm gonna go for the Close Combat, or I think I go for the Close Combat. So yeah, I go for the Close Combat, take out his Tentacruel, which is very good. So I know he's just gonna go into his Mamoswine and just go for the Ice Shard and take out my Infernape, which it will, because Infernape, I don't have no defense EVs on my Infernape, so it will go down. And yeah, I'm gonna go into my Terrakion right here. I'm gonna go for the Close Combat, take out the Ferrothorn, which is awesome. I am gonna get the defense drops, so I'm gonna have to hope that I could live a Ice Shard from Mamoswine, and I do, and I am able to take him out with a close combat. So that was a really good match. Logarithm, I guess that's how you pronounce his name. But yeah, GG Logarithm. If I ever see you in the ladder Pokemon Showdown again, I'll definitely battle you. But otherwise, guys, if you did enjoy the battle, please rate, comment, sub. Follow me on Twitter for exclusive updates, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.